Ladies and gentlemen, today we want to talk about two inventions that were revolutionary throughout history that brought us where we are today.
These two inventions are the printing press and the personal computer.
The printing press was invented by a German goldsmith called Johannes Gutenberg in 1440s.
What is a printing press?
Well, the printing press consists of a machine that transfers letters or images onto paper or similar material. The printing press started in Mainz, Germany, which is where Gutenberg inaugurated his invention. This machine was extremely well known during the Renaissance. Before the creation of the printing press, only high economical classes were able to afford books, such as priests and recognized families. This was because all books were handwritten and therefore took years and even decades to be written, therefore were extremely expensive. When the printing press was invented, mass production of books took place. This gave access to knowledge to everyone and therefore took an impressive role in the Renaissance.
It must have affected many people in the Renaissance.
Of course it did, especially the church, since before the printing press everyone believed everything the church told them, which wasn't all necessarily true. This was because the church had access to books, and therefore knowledge. When everyone had access to knowledge themselves, the church lowered power, because people were capable of self-educating.
It only affected the church.
It also affected the people. As people had more knowledge, inquiry emerged. Everybody wanted to learn more about the world and how it works. This was the most important impact. Everybody started inventing, discovering, and learning. Our basic knowledge come all the way back from the Renaissance, all thanks to the printing press.
That's amazing. And how has this invention impacted us today?
The printing press has impacted us today because if it weren't for it, the education today wouldn't be so advanced. Books can be found everywhere in the 21st century and serve several purposes, including entertainment and education. Anyways, can you tell me a little bit more about the personal computer?
Well, the personal computer is a device that allows people to do quick calculations and recording data. It was introduced in August 1981 by a dozen international business machines (IBM) engineers. The personal computer was originally used for business administration, calculations, and entertainment between others. This clever invention required a set of programming skills that only some people possessed. Yet, throughout the years, it became a tool that the common man had access to.
It was created in the 20th century. How did it impact people back in 1981?
It took a great impact on the 20th century since it facilitates people to administrate businesses, recording sales and calculating prices between others. People were able to manage their businesses easily, which caused a great impact on society. A program called VisiCalc, which was the first spreadsheet, justified the purchase of a computer since it was of great help to businessmen.
How does the personal computer impact us today?
The personal computer today provides several functions. We are now enabled to use the personal computer for entertainment, educational, business, and social purposes between others. The personal computer has facilitated our lifestyle with its endless functions. Globalization is an important impact that the personal computer has brought. Globalization is the process of international exchange of ideas and worldviews. It's what connects different countries' cultural aspects around the world. These two prominent innovations were a result of three important factors.
The first factor that made this innovation possible were the needs of our community. For example, the printing press was created because people needed easier access to books, while the computer was created because people needed an easier way to perform computation and record data.
Another important factor that was essential for the personal computer and the printing press to be invented were previous inventions. Before the personal computer, computers did in fact exist. They were much more different though. They occupied a whole room, while personal computers gave an easier access to people. The idea of the computer started out back in 1812. This idea seized the English inventor Charles Babbage.
The printing press, as well as the personal computer, had a previous invention that allowed it to be created. In the case of the printing press, Gutenberg got the idea of developing a better printing press from the Chinese inventor Bi Sheng. Back in the 1041 and 1048, a movable type had a similar purpose as the printing press. which was printing text and images onto paper. The model type was a device in which sticky clay had to be cut into characters, and each character functioned as a single type. It was a lot like stamp.
An important factor that enabled both images to occur was passion. Johannes Gutenberg had a remarkable passion for gospel, which is a recording of Jesus' life. This passion is what encouraged him to develop this invention that would allow Bibles and religious books to be spread. He wanted God's word to be cherished among everyone. On the other hand, the engineers that created the personal computer had a passion for programming and engineering. These were experienced engineers that had dedicated their life to computation. These were people who locked themselves inside garages and tested their programming skills for countless hours, and without this obsessive passion they had for programming, the invention of the personal computer would have never occurred.
This prominent inventions to take